What if we're not burnt out? What if we are literally exhausted because we are trying to build a future while literally carrying a life that already takes everything that we have simultaneously at the same time? I've been looking at my own life because I had time to reflect this weekend, and I quite literally am doing too much. I work full time. I commute an hour and a half to work, so I can easily, depending on the week, drive 3 hours or more. I was full time in school, taking 12 credits. I manage a team at work, so I'm in a leadership role where I do have to oversee other individuals, do scheduling, make decisions, handle finances, things like that. I am literally building a YouTube channel. I am trying to be a great daughter, be a caregiver, caretaker. I don't even know what the term is right now. That's how tired I am. Trying to have a life, trying to take care of my own health and continue to remain cancer free. Be an aunt. Remember to check on the kids and celebrate the birthdays, all 12 of them, and set reminders in my calendar. And then take care of the dogs and get Cardi to her appointments and PJ to his appointments for my mom. And then go to the store for my mom and go pick up prescriptions for my dad and all the other things that we do, because God bless parenting the parents right now. And I realized something out of all of those things that I said, because I've been saying that I've been burnt out for some time now. I think I'm just carrying a lot. And I think a lot of women are too. We are the dependable ones. So when you're a dependable woman, your plate, I think it just naturally gets overloaded, because people know that you're going to show up. People know that they can count on you. People know that you're going to be on time. You're going to be present. People know that they're going to get 100% from you. People know that if they can't do it, you're going to do it. I think that title comes with like a gift and a curse. And it's a joy to be able to serve people and help people. But in the same token, like, the level of exhaustion that can sometimes come with that, we'll label burnout. And some of us, rightfully so, are feeling that. That's a very real feeling. And when some of us go to label burnout, I think we're really just saying something else. And I think, like, we got to get honest with the fact that our plate is just too heavy. It's too heavy. So I keep hearing women say often that they're burnt out. But when you look at the reality of what you have going on, and like I said, that can very well be true, sometimes we're carrying a lot of extra things. We're still carrying a job that no longer fits or works for us. We're carrying responsibilities that keep growing us and keep stretching us. And it's like the moment you check off 3 boxes, somebody's added 10 more boxes onto your to-do list out of nowhere and expects you to get it done in like 2.5 business days. We're carrying everyone's expectations of us. You have expectations from your family, from your parents, from your kids, from your friends. You have expectations from your employer. You have expectations from your team members. You have expectations out the wazoo from literally everybody. And then don't forget about the expectations that we have for ourselves. Because if you are someone like me that was a very stuck perfectionist, and I would be so hard on myself, some people are still in that space, and the expectation that we can put on ourselves can greatly and easily outweigh the expectation that others place on us, because we can tend to be our worst critic, our hardest judge. We can tend to keep moving the goalpost every single time, we set to do a new task or have a new accomplishment or achievement. It's just so wild. So I think we're carrying so much, and then we're carrying the pressure of trying to figure our future out. I made a video the other day about like how my dream isn't just mine. It's not just for me anymore. And I got a chance to sit with my brother for Father's Day, and I feel like my sentiments solidified that, because I just even seeing how tired my brother has been from like working. And me and my brother are kind of in different, I don't know if I could say we're in different eras. Sometimes it feels like we are, but then sometimes it feels like we're not. We're 11 years apart. So my brother's older than me. And my brother is from that era of, he's in his late 40s. So work hard, work to show yourself approved. You not gonna outwork me. I'm gonna be the first person to do it, the last person to get it done, add more to my plate. I'm gonna grind it out. Like, that's my brother all day long. I don't know. I started like that, and there was a pivot. There was a strong pivot, because when I tell you my dad used to work him and work me, Jerome worked us. Okay, so I still have this mentality of like work hard, get the job done. But somewhere along the lines, when I had different jobs in corporate, I noticed a trend. The higher up I got, the more I got paid, the less I had to work. And I'm not saying I didn't work at all, but I'm saying like from when Renee was assistant store manager, physically working on her feet, clocking in 40 plus hours, managing a team of like 15 to 35 people, depending on the company, to when Renee was like a clinic success manager, working remotely from home, making like a comfy 6 figures, still had to put in some work, but the work changed. The work changed a lot, from physical to mental, but then even then I didn't have to take it with me. Like I would clock out and no one's texting me on Saturday or Sunday about a meeting for Monday, like none of that, versus my retail job where someone could text me on Saturday, hey, the alarm code's not working, and then I got to figure it out even though I'm technically off work, right? So I think with all of that, like it's just been a lot of pressure, and the pressure to like figure out my future life is feeling, it feels heavy and exciting. And it's like, it's not just for me, right? Like the things that I want to do aren't just for me anyways. They're for other people. I just feel like I'm holding this, I don't know, this like invisible torch, just leading the way. And I'm like, all right, Lord, like your word says, what is it? A lamp to my feet and a light to my path. I'm just like, I'm following. Get me together. So I think eventually everything, you compile all of that. Cardi, I don't know what she's doing. She's been eating a lot of grass lately. I think eventually you compile all of that and everything just starts feeling heavy, because we're literally carrying a lot. And that leads me to my other thought. The job isn't always the problem. And this is where my perspective like really had to change, because for a long time I thought that if I could just leave my job, that will solve everything. Like I would feel different. And trust me, I've had this thought with a many of jobs. So I'm not even just speaking about where I'm currently at. I've just had this feeling time and time again. If something just felt out of alignment, it felt exhausting, it did feel like burnout, or the leadership just felt a little toxic. Like I've been in different environments and spaces where like all of those things have been true. And some of my jobs, I absolutely did need to leave, and I did. But I know there are things about like my own situation that aren't sustainable long term. And what I had to realize is the deeper issue wasn't just the Cardi, what are you doing? Come on. No, y'all, I gotta Google this dog's eating the grass thing, because she's been eating specific types of grass lately, and I know it does something with their stomach, but I just don't fully understand all the details. But anyways, I had to realize that the deeper issue wasn't just my job. It was feeling like I had no options. My job just like triggered the feeling of needing to get out even quicker. When I had accepted a contract role, I was fresh off of like a layoff, and I did not have the options that felt comfortable. I felt like I just did not have the strongest safety net that I would have preferred, right? And I had grown to create this like $10,000 safety net in my mind, because I had been here before a few years prior. That was my first time ever saving $10,000, especially after cancer. Like if you know, to go through like a health situation, a major life shift, and it doesn't matter, cancer, divorce, moving, layoff, change, breakup, like any major life thing, it is like fighting an uphill battle to get back to yourself. And so when I saved that first $10,000, I felt like I won like 18 awards. You couldn't tell me anything, because I went from like being broke, cancer doesn't make you rich, to getting a good job and being mindful and saving my way to where I needed to be. So when that layoff happened, in my mind, I was like, okay, 10K is my metric, right? And so I had saved it back up again, and then end up living off of it as a true emergency fund. So it did what it was supposed to do. But because I was in in the space now where I felt like I was at the mercy of my job, that's one of the worst feelings in the world. I think that for me is one of the worst feelings in the world. I'm already a woman where, I never really wanted to feel like other people had control over me or what I said, because in the past I had gone through those situations and grew out of that to come into myself. So it's just like this like little trigger when it feels like your job has control over you because you quite literally can't leave because you're stuck at the mercy of a paycheck or the money that you don't have and you're hoping that it comes, or the goal that you're trying to hit real quick and real fast by way of saving your way to the top and trying to reduce your expenses. Like that's tough. So because I felt like I had no options, like when one paycheck is responsible for your entire life, like everything feels 10, 15, 20 times heavier, like literally. And I don't know if you've ever felt that way. If you have, like, tell me in the comments. But it just feels like now I'm literally at the mercy of the situation and I don't have an out and I'm trying to get out, and then I'm applying for the jobs, but then I'm getting mentally overwhelmed because now I'm trying to like hurry up and rush and escape my situation because I want to get out of this situation into something better, something that relieves or alleviates me or things like that. But have you ever noticed a rainy day isn't a rainy day when you have some type of preparation or when you have an option? I remember the first time riding down 8 Mile in Detroit, got a flat tire. I haven't, to this day, I have never had a flat tire. I got a flat tire driving down 8 Mile, leaving the movie theater, and I was okay because I had the funds to cover it. But Renee, a few years prior, may have kind of freaked out because I would have been like, oh my God, I didn't know I needed money for a flat tire. Where is this money gonna come from? Because I just paid my rent and I just got some gas and some groceries. So who gonna pay for this tire? Oh man. So I've learned through all my situations that like a rainy day doesn't feel as like heavy when you have preparation for it. And I think the same thing can apply here too. So every meeting, every bad day, every frustrating conversation, like all of that compiles because it doesn't feel like a choice anymore. It feels like you're literally in a state of survival. And I think second to feeling like you don't have options, being in survival mode also is one of the toughest feelings. But there's this thing too in the back. I don't know, y'all. I don't know if this is like me not fully being healed or maybe me being healed, but just a little residue. There's also this thing in the back of my head too, where it's like I've been in survival mode so long and so many times before that if for some odd reason I had to go back, I'm going to get it how I got to get it. Okay. Like I'm going to be okay because I know how to live off less. I know how to maneuver with a little bit. I know how to, make 1 + 1 = 2 or whatever. I know how to like skim down my needs to be able to sacrifice and get ahead. And yeah, I'm gonna have to keep talking to my therapist about that because I'm like, I don't know if that's trauma or that's just the fact that I've been here before. I'm not fully there anymore, but I'm not too unfamiliar in the same token. So Cardi, come on. Okay, leads me to my third point. Maybe what we're actually craving is space. I think this is why so many women feel disconnected from themselves because they never get a second to actually hear themselves think. I know for my girlfriend, I've mentioned her before, Joe. And if you're watching, she is a mom of 4, and I know her quiet time is when after she's gotten off of work, battled Atlanta traffic, picked up all the kids from daycare, and then finally gets home to pull up in the driveway. She just parks the car and she talks to me. And I hear her tell the kids like, all right, y'all go inside. I'll get dinner started in a minute. Go do this, this, and this. And then we just chat. And since she started doing her YouTube videos too, I noticed that she does them like outside before she even gets in the house. And I respect that because sometimes the only space of quiet you have is like early in the morning or like late in the evening. Or sometimes if you can kind of get away midday on your work break, go walk around the block, go walk to the park or something like that. Or like me, I used to take my lunch breaks in my car. Man, I haven't thought about those days in so long. I used to take lunch breaks in my car at one of my other jobs just to be able to have some peace and some quiet. And I would definitely do a walk around the block. And I was just like, there's just got to be more there's got to be more to life than feeling like this and like going another year with this feeling. You know, this was right before the breast cancer diagnosis when I was feeling this, and I'm just like, something's got to change. Something's got to change. So I think when we don't have enough time to think, we're moving from one responsibility to the next responsibility, or one obligation to the next, one deadline to the next, one kid to the next, or you know, one task or project to the next. And somewhere between all of that moving around, we forget to actually take a moment to like check on ourselves and see like, hey, are you good? How do you feel? What do you need right now? How's your mind? How's your heart? How's your soul? So one of my friends would always ask me that, and I love that she asked me that, because it would make me stop and be like, let me actually give her a real answer, because I don't want to sugarcoat anything. I want to actually heal through the thing, and healing and vulnerability go hand in hand. So yeah, I'm actually not good, or girl, I'm actually really tired and I'm figuring out why I'm so tired. You know, I would just keep it real. And at some point we stopped asking ourselves, what do we actually want? What needs to change for you? What would make this feel lighter right now? And what would give you more options? All of those questions matter, because every major shift in my life started when I got quiet enough to actually sit down and be able to hear the answer. The clarity is the compass. Like, it's the direction, it's the path. And whatever you have to do to sit down and just hear, then you can do the work towards what you hear and remove distractions, remove FOMO, remove shiny object syndrome, and literally just let that compass and lead you. So honestly, that's too the reason why I'm hosting another clarity hour this week. This is going to be Saturday, June 27th. 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm excited to have you. And this is not me telling you to quit your job. This is not some perfect roadmap, but this is just simply a space to get honest about what's working for you and what's not. It's a space to ask questions and be in the room of other women that are feeling the same thing and talking through what options do you have? What does the next step look like? And maybe that's the clarity that you get to carry you through the week, through the next ChatGPT prompt, through the next action that you need to take. And maybe you have questions about YouTube, because I have grown to really sit in the decision of YouTube being one of my options. And I'm really enjoying it here. And maybe you have questions about how this beautiful community has gone from literally 0 on day 1 to a little over 5K, which is such a celebration. And I just want to take the moment to thank you. If you've been here, if you've been listening, if you've been commenting, which I'm still getting to all the comments, if you've signed up for a clarity hour in the past, or those that purchased the exit plan strategy, if you've done any of those things, I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. That means so much more than you know. And I thank you for multiple reasons, right? Because you're trusting and believing in me. You're able to see the journey happening in real time. But I want to thank you for trusting yourself more than anything, for feeling what you feel and knowing that it's valid, and knowing that you deserve the change that you want to experience in your life. You deserve the options. You deserve to take Tuesday off of work if you want to. You deserve being able to pick up and go and travel with the kids. You deserve to be able to like have slow mornings. You deserve to be able to do whatever it is that you want to do in your life. And I hope that my channel, these videos, these conversations, and even the clarity hour is a good resource for you in trusting and knowing that this is possible for you too. So I'm not speaking from a place of perfection or having it all together, but I am speaking from a place of a woman that's doing it in real time, and we get to see how this thing unfolds and how this grows together. So if you've been feeling exhausted lately, if you've been feeling stuck, if you've been feeling or wondering why everything like feels so heavy, come to the clarity hour. I'd love to have you join us, because sometimes clarity is the first option that we give ourselves, and then all the other options that we desire come from that and come after that. So all right, y'all. Thank you for being here. If you made it all the way through this video, like, comment, subscribe. subscribe, share it with a friend, because community, community, and get on the wait list for the second Sunday. I am so excited about that community to come. Stay tuned. We are growing something very beautiful, and I think it's going to be exactly what you need if I'm who you're looking for. All right, y'all. Until the next video, peace out, take care, and I will talk with you soon. Bye.